Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky63, where I'll be giving you my selections for day 3 of Royal Ascot tomorrow. Been pretty good for us so far on the channel. We've had 2 profitable days at Royal Ascot. Yesterday was a very good day. We had a good turnover of profit there. Not bad today as well. We had not quite as good profit as yesterday, but still made a nice bit of money tomorrow with a few good each way selections in our each way Lucky63. If you're new to us on the channel, we normally make daily horse racing predictions in the format of a Lucky 15 bet, sometimes each way or sometimes outright. We have good days and we have bad days, but at Ascot so far we've been having 2 good days on the channel. So follow us here and subscribe to us for more content over Royal Ascot and for future horse racing meetings. So subscribe to us and like that button. I'm just going to go through on how today's selections ran. All in all, like I said, it wasn't a bad day. First race we had Ban, not a bad performance. He came 6th or 7th in the end, but the major factor today was the draw, which will be a big debate in this vlog. Let us know what you thought on the draw today and how much it really did make an impact being close to the stand side. Running rail. If you were there, you had a very good chance to win the race today, and most of the winners and good performances did come from that side of the track. If you were on a low draw number like 1 to say 5, you probably had no chance of running a good race, and that really didn't tell yesterday, whereas today it did over the short sprint distances. Definitely played a major factor. Ban was drawn down the middle, but again, a lot of the pace in the race came towards the stand side running rail, and in the end the French horse won in the end, the short price favourite. That was a good performance. It definitely showed its class, and that was a good performance there by the French horse. In our second race we selected Mrs. Gallagher. Pretty much the story for a lot of people that backed horses that didn't run against stand side rail. Heartache won in the end. It ruined the short price gamble of that American horse, Wesley Ward. That horse, to be honest, I don't know why so many people were backing it. A lot of it was on its trainer's word, trying to live up to what Lady Aurelia did last year when it previously won this race in the Queen Mary. A lot of people thought that that horse would go on to be the next Lady Aurelia. It still could, but I don't know why so many punters went into it when not a lot was known about American racing. A lot of it was on hearsay. It went off so short because Heartache was the second favourite and it won at 5 or 6 to 1. Great performance there by Adam Kirby, riding for Clive Cox. Very good there. That was against Standside Rail. It had a good turn of foot towards the end, and it was always going to win. It finished off the stronger, but Mrs. Gallagher, to be fair, won her own kind of little race, as it were. If you were drawn different parts of the track today, you kind of run in your own little race, and it was literally which one was the better of like 2 or 3 races was going to win the overall race. So yeah, it was a bit frustrating today if you had a horse over towards that low draw number. Our third selection was a non-runner and Laugh Loud. A bit gutted about that one. Really fancy that one. It's going for a hat-trick of wins this season, and we backed it every time so far it run on the channel. In the end, it was a favourite that won that, again from the stand side rail, so again you can really see that that was a major factor. By this point in the day, lots of people for the later races were going for horses drawn against that stand side rail, which we'll get into in a minute. But one of the only races that really didn't matter in today so much was the Prince of Wales Stakes, which was won by Highland Reel, but that was the start of our first each way selection. Declaration Night, at one point I thought it was going to win. It gave Highland Reel good run for its money, but that horse showed its class on the day, and the horse we selected, Declaration Night, ran pretty good race. To be fair, I thought at one point it was going to be head to head with Highland Reel, but 10 to 1 came in second place, ran a great race, proving that we were right to select it. And yeah, that wasn't a bad start at 10 to 1. Then we had Tabarak, who ran against near side running rail. That was very short in the end compared to what we got at. We got it 25 to 1 and ended up going at 12 to 1, finished in 5th place. And yeah, put in a great performance considering it was top weight in a wide open handicap field. So that wasn't a bad performance there. And that was pretty good for us in our each way Lucky63. I would advise, if you're doing multiple bets, to shop around on your bookmakers, because quite a few bookmakers are paying out lots of places on different races. Sky Bet are the one we've been going with for these each way Lucky63s, because they've got lots of 4, 5, 6 places they're playing out. So it does make a difference, especially if you're doing multiple betting, I find. The fifth race there was Tabarak, which we just mentioned. The sixth race was Queen of Time. Good performance. Came fourth in the end. Ran a fairly creditable race back in fourth place, but never was going to quite catch the winner today. Had a good draw as well. So yeah, all in all, not too bad when we got that at 12-1. So all in all, we made a small profit today, and we continued our second profitable day of Royal Ascot in a row. But we're going to get into day three's Royal Ascot predictions for tomorrow, again in the format of an each-way Lucky63 bet. First race kicks off at 2:30 in the Norfolk Stakes. Quite a tricky race to work out. The horse that we've gone for here is a horse called Havana Grey, riding for the Kevin Burke yard. Aboard is PJ McDonald, not a bad northern jockey. This horse has won its last two races, especially Sandown was a very good performance in the National Stakes over the same trip and the same gurn. If it can run a performance like that tomorrow, it definitely should be in the mix. 8-1 with bookmakers at the moment, and I definitely think even if it places at least, that's not a bad start on the each way angle. Our second selection tomorrow will run in the 305 in the Hampton Court Stakes. This is quite a tricky race to work out. A lot of horses have got some question marks over them. They've got to prove some form, things like that. Horse that we've gone for here is Benbatl, riding for Saeed bin Surur. And on board tomorrow will be Ocean Murphy. This horse came fifth in the Derby, where it ran not a bad race. It was held up early on, but managed to come home very well over the last few furlongs, and maybe an extra furlong, who knows, it might have caught up and finished a bit closer to the overall winner in the end. But that's very good form going on. Currently 9-2 bookmakers at the moment, second favourite. A lot of people backing this horse probably to be the one to beat tomorrow, and I agree with them there. So that's going to be our second selection tomorrow. Our third selection tomorrow will see us go to the Ribsdale Stakes in the 340, and the horse that we're going on here is called Naughty or Nice, and this is an Irish raider, this one, and it's trained by John M. Ox, and it will be ridden by Declan Madonna. This horse has had the jockey up previous on its two runs, where it's won those two runs over the same gurn that will be going for tomorrow. Ran about the same kind of distance as well, and also on some bit more tougher ground on its debut, where it won still reasonably well. So Naughty and Nice, currently 8-1 bookmakers at the moment. I definitely think that's got a good chance of running a good solid race tomorrow in a pretty tricky, sticky contest again, and that's going to be our third selection tomorrow. Our next selection tomorrow will go to the 420 in the big race of the day, the Ascot Gold Cup. Horse that we've gone for here is called Sweet Selection, riding for Hughie Morrison, who's a very good trainer in big races, and has got Sylvester de Souza aboard, who rode this horse last time when it ran, which happened to be at Ascot over 2 miles. It was also the same going as well, good to firm. So I think this horse will definitely run a good race tomorrow. It's definitely a stayer. It's going up in trip slightly, but I don't think that's a worry at all. Currently 14-1 bookmakers at the moment, and if you had to ask me at a longer shot what horse do I think will run well tomorrow, definitely think this horse should be there or thereabouts tomorrow and will run a very good race. So that's going to be our fourth selection there. I think it was quite a hard race to work out. The Aidan O'Brien horse was a bit too short for my liking, so I can't really get stuck into that one. So yeah, the one we're putting up is Sweet Selection. Hopefully it will be a Sweet Selection tomorrow. Our fifth selection tomorrow in the fifth race there sees us go to the 5 o'clock in the Britannia Stakes. This is a very, very wide, difficult race to work out. The horse that we've gone for here is a horse called Afaak, which sounds a bit like a swear word, doesn't it? It's trained by Charles Hills, and it's got Jim Crowley aboard tomorrow. Currently 16-1 bookmakers at the moment. It's been riding very well of late. It's had different goes and different ground, and has been very good and capable over both grounds. It's probably bred to like the better ground, than which is the good to firm going. It definitely like the ground tomorrow. It's been very fine and comfortable over the trip. Definitely should stay. Probably do some good late work, hopefully coming home for us tomorrow at 16-1, and I definitely thought in a wide open race this horse has got to be one of the more likely contenders. So currently 16-1 with bookmakers at the moment. I don't think that's a bad price, and that's who we're going to go for tomorrow in the Britannia Stakes and at the 5 o'clock. The last race tomorrow, again, is a very tricky one to work out, but the horse that we've gone for in the 5:35 is Master Singer for the John Gosden yard. Andrea Zany on the saddle for this one. Now, the last time we saw this horse won a very weak maiden at Newcastle in the all-weather by about 8 or 9 lengths, which was a very weak race, but it showed its class that day. Before that, it had been running not too badly. It doesn't mind the going. It'll like the trip as well. It's making its handicap debut tomorrow. It's nicely weighted off. I think it's 8 stone 13, so that's not too bad there. I was definitely thinking a wide open race like this. A few of the other rivals in that race have got more question marks to answer, and the fact that they haven't been running so good, where this horse is still unexposed. It's been going on really well. John Gosden's always one of those trainers, if you want to get the most out of your horse, you would want it to send it to him. And again, 8 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment. I think Sky Bet, which I would recommend if you're doing multiple bets tomorrow for each way purposes, definitely go with them. I definitely think this horse has got to be within those top 5 or 6 tomorrow, which they're playing out on. So yeah, that's who I'd be going for there as our last selection in our each way Lucky63 tomorrow. But anyway, if you've had a good day at Royal Ascot on day 2, let us know in the comments box below. Also, let us know your fancies for tomorrow. If you've got any red hot tips that you think are worth mentioning, let us know, and we maybe do them on a single or something. So yeah, we'll maybe look to doing those. Also as well, you can like us on Facebook at LuckyLoads15. Also follow us on Twitter at LuckyLoads15 under the same name. Also subscribe to us on the channel for more horse racing content, which is every day. And follow us as well for the remainder of the festival at Royal Ascot. Also as well, gamble responsibly, hit the like button on the video, and we'll be seeing you soon for tomorrow's predictions.